Hello, my second grade art students. I am so happy that we get to do art today, and this is a very fun project. So at Silvergate, we've all been talking about being grateful, and this whole month of November is thinking about being grateful. So what I thought we could do is create a grateful card. And it's going to be special because it has a turkey in it. So we're incorporating the Thanksgiving, where we are giving thanks, and the month of November, where we are grateful at Silvergate. And we're going to create a really cool card that everyone can write inside and say what they're thankful for, what they're grateful for. So my thought was, we're going to create a turkey on the front, and then you open it up and you can write all the things you're grateful for, and you can ask your mom and your dad and your brother and your sister and your aunt and your uncle and your cousins and your grandma and everyone what they're grateful for, and you can write it and write all the things that everybody's grateful for. And so then you'll have a really good memory from 2020 Thanksgiving about what everybody is grateful for, because we always have something to be grateful for. So, with that being said, you are going to get a piece of paper and fold it in half like this, like a book, and make sure that when you do your turkey, it's on the right side. So you're going to do it on this side so that when you open it up, like a book, you'll have all the writing inside. Okay, so the turkey that we're going to do is what I'm going to draw with you today. Now what you'll need is a pencil, a Sharpie. I have my pencil and my Sharpie here. My pencil, my Sharpie, and crayons or markers or crayons and watercolor, and you can decide what you're going to do yours with. I did mine completely in crayon because that's what I had, and I didn't feel like doing the watercolor today. So if you don't feel like doing watercolor, that's okay. If you do feel like doing watercolor, you can do the entire thing in watercolor after you trace it out, or just parts of it, or just the background. So we can talk about that as we go forward. I am going to create mine on the whiteboard, and I'm doing that because it's easier to see on the video. So I tried it a couple times, and you really can't see it when I do it on the paper that I have. Now this paper is just construction paper. You can use whatever paper you have it on hand, but a little bit thicker works really nicely, or you can just do it on copy paper if that's all that you have. Whatever it does, it'll work out fine. Okay. So this is what we're going to make. And there are two different ones that I have written a sample for you, and there should be, the written directions have a couple pictures in it for you, so you can see them up close. This is the first one. This one says thankful, grateful, blessed. And this is our crazy turkey. So he's got kind of crazy eyes, and all of his feathers have different kinds of designs in them. Just like the Zentangle that we did on the leaves, this one has different designs in it. So you can choose to do that one. Or you can do more traditional, and you can do that guy. So this, that's the same one, Miss Crossan. I was being so tricky that I turned it the same way. Okay, this is the more traditional one. This one says give thanks, and he's got kind of traditional feathers. His eyes are just regular, and he's just kind of a cute little turkey with a little pilgrim outfit. So you can decide which one. It's very easy to change and do whichever one that you want to do. So the one thing that I didn't tell you need is a circle. So this is the lid of a jar, and I would like you to get a lid just so you have a nice clean circle to trace on for your turkey's head. So we're going to start out, and I'm going to use this whiteboard so you can see it. And then notice that this turkey is not in the middle. It's not centered. It's kind of on the side, so it gives it a different look. But what you're going to do is you are going to draw your circle just about 3 or 4 fingers down, maybe about, let's say maybe 3 inches. And just a little piece of that is not on the page. So I'm going to take my pencil, this blue pen that looks like a blue pen on your paper is a pencil. So you're drawing most of the circle, just a little tiny bit of it is not going to be shown, okay? And then after you do that, I'm going to give you a clock for reference. So we're going to quickly draw a clock over here. So just like we tell time on a clock, this gives us a reference in a circle. So when we have a clock, we have 12 o'clock is at the top, 6 o'clock is at the bottom, 3 o'clock's on this side, and 9's on that side. So you can fill it in with the rest of the numbers. You guys can all do this very easily, I'm sure. And just for reference, I'm going to say this is the clock, so that when we look at this circle, I can say, okay, at about 8 o'clock, so 8 is going to be on this part of the circle. Then you look at this part and you think 6, 7, 8, yeah, 8 would be right about there. So at 8 o'clock, you're going to come out and you're going to do the collar of the turkey. So it's going to come out about an inch. And hang on a second. Sorry. It's going to come out about an inch, and this is the collar. Then it's going to go right over to the middle of the neck and then down for the other side. So remember that this circle, that would be his whole head. So that's about the middle, maybe a little bit over this way. There you go. Because only a little part of it isn't on here. Okay, so that's about the middle of him. Then you're going to put a little circle where the collar meets, and that's going to be the button. From the side of the collar, you're going to just make a little turkey body. It's a rounded little guy. We don't like skinny turkeys. We like kind of, this guy's a little skinny. This guy's a nice size. So we've got the body of the turkey. We've got the head of the turkey. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at about 10 o'clock. So just about 10 o'clock on your circle, you're going to start his hat. So if this is 12, 11, 10, 9 o'clock is here, remember. So 10 is about here. And we're going to come across and just go to the edge. And then you're going to erase that line. So this is why we started in pencil, guys, because there's a lot of lines that you need to erase. So once you get the side of the hat, you're going to come up, make a rectangle, and go straight across. And then you come up to right about where the head is, maybe a little bit in, and you're going to do a straight line up to the top of your paper. So now you have the start of your turkey pilgrim. And you're going to do one more little line up here, another little rectangle, and that's going to be that inner part of the turkey. And then you're going to have a square inside of that. And the square is going to look just like this. And then you're going to put a frame inside of it. So it's kind of a double-sided. So if you can see, there's an outside and then you're putting kind of a margin around it. And then it looks like it's kind of a buckle. So I'm going to make my little buckle right there. And now we've got our turkey hat done. The only thing we need to do is our feathers and our face. So with our feathers, let's do that part first. And this one we're going to turn it around. So we'll look at this guy for a second. Now remember, this has got our crazy feathers. You can do rounded feathers like this, and they're all kind of laying behind the other one. So as you make them, think about that. You don't see both sides of the feathers. You only see the front of this one, oops, and then the ones behind it. You can't really see them, okay? So you can start it here, and you can go right up here and make the first feather. And then you kind of come from the side of it and you make the next feather. Now this would be off the page, but then it would come around like that. Okay, and then this one would come off the page and it would come around like that. So that's what you have showing. This might even have a teeny little arc in it that you could see the side of it. So you can do your feathers like that. If you don't like that, you could do, and this is why it's so much easier to show you on this whiteboard, because I can just erase it and show you again. So this one, you can start off the other side of those kind of feathers. So if you wanted to do pointy feathers, you just start by making a point, and remember that these feathers are behind his head. And you can even do another one's going to be behind the hat, and you just keep making them. And you just kind of think of where they would go. That one might be way over here. That would be the point of it. And then it would come around like that. So if you're going to do, this guy's kind of like him to come in a little bit, that body to come in a little bit. And if you have it in pencil, guys, you can do whatever you like. So if you're not sure how it's setting and you want to do it a little differently, then just go ahead and erase it and make the line again like I just did with that. So we'll make that back over there. So now, so you've got your feathers however you want them, and the inside of your feather can be either a straight line like these are, and then you can even use a ruler if you like to and do the sides of the feathers that come out so that you can definitely see that they're feathers. So that's one way to do it. And then the other way is a Zentangle way, where you're doing a fun design that's different and different colors in each one, and whatever you guys want to do with it is what you do. Now I'm going to show you his face, if I can do that, and look very particularly at his eyeballs. You'll see there's like a little light in the middle of the pupil. So we're going to try to do that, and when you make that light, this one has it in just one eye because Miss Crossan kind of messed up, and that's okay too. But what we're going to do is when we make our eyeballs, you can make them, this is the goofy one, or you can make them just regular, straight. And what you're going to do is you're going to make them ovals, and then you're going to draw the pupil, which is the black part, and then you're going to do a little piece of white like that. So this is the pupil, and then the white part, and they're going to both be kind of in the same way so that it's as if the light is shining off of the eyeball. And then beyond that, you're going to put another little line, and that's going to be the iris, I think it's called. The blue part of the eye or the brown part of the eye, just like you and I have, and then we have the pupil as the black part. So the black part of the eye, you'll be able to see the white when you do the black part. So I'm going to go ahead and color this in for you, just so you can see what it looks like. And I'm just doing these big like this so you can see what I'm doing, because it's kind of hard to see. So hopefully that shows a little bit what that will look like. You can kind of see how that will look. And of course you're going to do much nicer coloring than Miss Crossan's doing right now. I'm just doing this so that you can see it. And let me see what that looks like. Yeah, so that kind of looks like what you're going to do for the eyeballs. Now, of course, you can do whatever you want with the eyes. You can leave it like that. You can put eyelashes on it. You can put smiley, like little eyes. Or you can just leave it like it is. And I actually just like it without the eyelashes, without anything else. Just like that. So once you make the eyeballs, and I'll just do it like that, you're going to do the nose, the snoot, and the wattle. And that is going to look like this. You're going to do a triangle, just like that. And the snoot is that little red part above the nose. And the wattle is the part that comes down like this. And so that's what's going to end up looking like. When we do it on our, you can do whatever color you want. I chose orange and red. And then the red I also put on the button. And once you do the button, if you put 4 little dots like that, it makes it look more like a button. So just do like that. So that's about it for our turkey, friends. You're going to color whatever you like with whatever you like. So like I said, I did crayon here. I did orange, yellow, red, orange, red, yellow, just for fun. Do it any way you like. I did the body in brown, and I left this white. I didn't color that in at all. This is black, and then that's orange with the yellow around the buckle. So that's how I did this one. I did do a little bit of shading, and you're welcome to do that as well. A little bit darker on the sides. And this is all in crayon, and you can make it look really nice, friends, if you make sure that you color in the same direction. So you want to try to do that. On this other side, I made sure that I went all the same direction on his body. That one looks a little bit better. And then I did, again, a little shading here. Did a little bit of shading in the background. So the part that you might want to watercolor, you could watercolor the background. After you color in crayon, you can watercolor over the feathers, and you can watercolor any of the crayon that you like. I did put pen on here. I just kind of did a little bit different because actually I couldn't find my black crayon, so I had to use black marker. And that came out kind of nice. I kind of like how it looks. It makes it look a little bit different. So experiment with it, friends, and I sure hope that you will share it with me on Seesaw so that I can see your lovely creations. Please go ahead and look at the written directions if you need them. Have a wonderful time creating and enjoying this project. I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And have a happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you in a couple weeks, guys. Take care.